What's up, everyone? We are back with another BrewskiBets banger. This week we are heading to Vegas, where we are going to find out if Gabriel Bonfim is a contender within this division in a massive main event crossroads. Seeing if Belal Muhammad has fallen off and Gabriel Bonfim is taking over the division, or what's going to happen there. So the sports books have this slated as a dead even pick. Pretty much it's 50-50, minus 110 right now, and I do think there is. I got a line earlier that towards my side, and I am quite confident in it. So I feel there was some money to be made in the main event. But otherwise, the card's looking great. It's looking stacked. It's going to be a fun one. I'm excited. I think there's going to be a lot of violence, a lot of finishes. So yeah, let's get into some breakdowns and my bets for the week. All right, in our first prelim of the night, we've got Souza versus Carnelossi. This is actually a rematch. These two have fought before. Carnelossi did take it in that one with a body kick in the third, but she was fighting a different Souza back then. She was out of shape. She was not the same fighter she is today. She has leveled up many times over, whereas Carnelossi has kind of stayed stuck as the same fighter that she was, and that is a big, strong, trapped up woman without any real skill. And Souza has all the skill. So I've got a pretty strong lean and bet towards Souza in this one. I believe she's going to take this one. She's going to get her revenge. She's going to come in motivated, in shape, and with a whole lot more skill than Carnelossi is able to bring to the table on this one. I do have a bet on that one. We'll go over that in a little bit here at the end of the video. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. I think that Souza's going to be just more talented, going to be able to take the fight. And I have her in a couple parlays this week. This week is a parlay heavy week for me, and we're going to find out if that works out for me. For our next fight, we've got Chaves versus Duben. Chaves is 6-0. Duben is 6-1. After that knockout loss to Carly Judy's on the last one, Chaves was just in a slugfest in the Contender Series fight, but she looked like she had a lot of heart in there. She looked like she had some skill. And definitely looked like she was figuring out how to be a fighter, whereas we just haven't seen all of that out of Duben. So I am leaning towards Chaves in this one. I do have a bet on her in a parlay. It's my women's parlay of the night, and we'll see how that one works out for me. But I am throughout the week gaining less confidence in her rather than gaining more confidence. So, in regards to my level of confidence on this pick, it is not as high as, say, Souza for sure. I mean, I definitely believe Souza is going to win this one, but I just think she has pretty solid Muay Thai. And Duben's got that one just kind of overhand right that we've seen out of her at least. She hasn't been in the ring long enough to see any more skills in there and what she's got on the table. So from what I've seen of Unicy and from that slugfest that I saw of Chaves in her last one, I saw a lot of heart, and I just think that she can take this one. So she is my pick for this one as well. And on our next fight, we've got Joe Anderson Brito versus Jordan Leavitt, and I am torn on this one, guys. This one's a tough one for me. Leavitt has looked really good in his last few. That wrestling game has definitely leveled up, and that's a worry. That's a worry in this one from what we've seen in Brito's last few fights, where he's getting taken down, held on his back, and not going anywhere for the whole fight. So the issue in this one is going to be, can Jordan Leavitt take Brito down? Can he keep him down? Can he use that game? Because if it's kept on the feet, Brito's gonna beat the shit out of him. If it's kept on the feet, Jordan Leavitt is fucked. Um, there it is. It's the grappler versus striker debate. Can Jordan Leavitt impose his game, or will Brito be able to keep that takedown defense and eventually, in my opinion, knock him out? I am leaning towards the Brito side. I probably should have kept my hands off a bet in this one, and this is another one I bet earlier in the week, and I've lost confidence throughout the week, rather than gained it in regards to just watching Leavitt's last few fights, seeing how that wrestling has improved, and then now at this point just hoping that Brito comes in with a smart game plan, that he's got the fight IQ to take this guy on, because if he comes in swinging wild, throwing big hooks, I mean, Leavitt's going to duck it, take him down, and then I have a feeling there goes the round. We'll see if Brito has better fight to get out of there than who did Leavitt take on in his last one? Than Yadier outright than Delvalle, because Delvalle had chances to get out and multiple times, and he just showed that he's not that guy that that fight against Dalgarian was probably fixed. But I think Brito has the skill to be able to get up and not be held down the whole fight. So there's my lean towards Brito. I did place a bet him in a parlay earlier in the week, and I have a feeling he could be my my parlay destroyer in that one. So we're gonna find out, see how it plays out. I'm 100% in at this point. I'm not backing out of the bet, and I'm trusting Brito to be just a higher skill fighter than Leavitt in this one. All right, and our next fight of the night is it's not a high quality one. We're gonna just keep it at that. We've got Chelsea Chandler versus Priscilla Cachoeira, and neither of these ladies need to be in the UFC. They could go and well, they've got no time to work their game and come back. So these ladies don't need to be in the UFC. We'll keep it at that. This one's not going to be a high level fight, but I do have a lean on Chelsea Chandler in this one. Hopefully, she can just lay on top of her and win me a bet. A nice 3-lady parlay: Chelsea Chandler, Chaves, and Souza. We'll see how that works out for me, but I have a feeling Chaves or Chandler may blow it for me. The reasoning for Chandler in this one is her wrestling. I have a feeling that she's going to be able to get Cachoeira down and either lay on top of her the whole time or submit her potentially. But if it's kept on the feet, I'm not trusting Chelsea Chandler. I have a feeling Priscilla could knock her out. So I think no matter what, this fight is probably going. I don't think it's going the distance from all the paths I see. I think one of them's going to get exposed in one of the facets they're weak at. So yeah, my final feelings on this one, I may have put her in a parlay, but again, my bets this week, I'm currently regretting. Maybe they'll prove me right, but I don't like 3-pick parlays. I've said that in the past, and I've got 3 of them this week. Just was going off the feelings I was getting betting that day, and I should have slowed down and maybe rethought the 3-pick parlays on the week, and instead chase something else. So like on this one, I probably would have preferred doing like a Chelsea Chandler by submission or Priscilla Cachoeira by knockout. I have a feeling it's not going the distance, and so could have maybe split my bet that way rather than parlay where someone may blow it for other fighters as well. So we'll see how it goes this week and amend the betting strategy as needed. All right, and our next fight of the night is Bruno Silva versus Edgar Chairez. It is one of the most divisive fights of the night. The community is quite split in terms of Tapology-wise, and from all I'm seeing in terms of predictions out there, it's a tough fight to call. It's both guys have a lot of talent. Edgar Chairez is what's it? His boxing, his 1-2, his jab, excellent. He's got a really good boxing game. And Bruno Silva's a dog, right? He's fought some really good competition. He's just recently, I think, won a split decision with Charles Johnson, but they gave it to Charles on that one. He has fought Joshua Van recently, lost to him, Manel Kopp, so he's been fighting some really good competition on his recent losses. And his wins, it's not bad competition as well. He took out Hyung Sung Park, who's, pretty good talent and was a prospect on the rise, and gave him his first loss. And he beat Cody Durden, who's a pretty good wrestler and obviously not at the peak of his career, but definitely a good dog of a fighter and shows that Bruno Silva has that dog in him. Edgar Chairez, he's coming off of a gassing with Felipe Bunes, and the big thing I've been hearing this week is, he was in Mexico City, elevation's high. It might have messed with his gas tank there, right? So I don't think we saw the cardio that we're usually going to be seeing out of Edgar Chairez, which is going to change how that fight looked. And so why he didn't look that great against Felipe Bunes and why he's gassing out. It's like, do we chalk it up to bad cardio or do we chalk it up to the environment? I don't think we can fully decide off that. So I'm not going to say that he is that he's a gasser, he's got cardio issues yet. I want to see him in this fight. Otherwise, recently he's fought Joshua Van, looked pretty good in that fight. And so both of these guys have fought some pretty good competition. Didn't win their fights, but they looked good in it. And so we're gonna find out who's got more of the dog in them in this one. Personally, leaning towards Bruno Silva. I put a bet on him as well, but I am not. I'm pretty split on this one. That's not my. This is my, I would say, least confident pick of the week. It could go either way. I just think Bruno has more of the grappling skill, potentially the cardio advantage, and definitely think he might have the speed advantage as well, but find that out. And for our next fight of the night, we've got Mcghee versus Yannis. This is a weird step down in competition for Mcghee. He went from Peter Yan, the current champ, to unranked Yannis, who, sure, knocked the hell out of Jamie Siraj. Jamie Siraj isn't a UFC fighter, so we haven't seen enough, I think, to be able to tell what level Yannis is at. Obviously, he's got great boxing skill, and it looked excellent against Jamie Siraj. He made him look like he's not ready to be there. But Mcghee has been there. He's been fighting really good fighters. He's got excellent skill on the feet. He's a good grappler. I think he's going to have an advantage in the grappling and potentially the wrestling department. We'll find out as the fight goes on, obviously. But I don't think we know enough about this Yannis guy to be able to obviously pick him over Mcghee. It's just to say, is the Mcghee minus 450 line worth it? Is it, is it something that's worth putting in a parlay? And for me, I said yes to that. I think this guy is going to be some levels above Yannis. And so yeah, we put him in a parlay, and we'll go over the bets at the end and show you what we got going for the night. But my official pick is probably going to be Mcghee, either by submission or decision. I have a feeling that Yannis is a bit of a, I think he can play in the stand-up game. I think he's going to be a dog up there. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's going to be able to take Mcgee's best shots. But I don't know if he's going to be at the same level, obviously, on the ground or in the grappling. And so submission or decision is going to be my thought for Mcghee. Next up, we've got Schnell versus Alessandro Costa, and this is one of the widest lines of the week. It has been coming down. I've been watching it kind of slowly dip. Alessandro Costa was at minus 700 or something along those lines, and it's gone down to he's a minus 450, 490 favorite. Still a heavy favorite. Schnell's got no chin, but he isn't. He isn't a bad fighter. The guy's got skill. He's got good boxing. Just that chin, it's not holding up with age. He's not able to take the same punch. And I think that is going to likely lead to a knockout in this one for Costa. What the thing is, the guy, he's got the Brazilian jiu-jitsu skill, but he just has been wanting to slug it out in the UFC from all we've seen. So I have a feeling it's a knockout coming. I don't think he's going to go to that submission, but I do think it's a possibility. And in regards to value, the Costa knockout is not, you don't really get a ton of value off that. His submission, you get a ton off of. So I might have to sprinkle a little something on his submission in this one, just in case Schnell is tired of getting knocked out and tries to kind of shoot for a takedown, gets his neck caught. Boom, Alessandro Costa gets me a nice submission call. So that's on the table this week, and I will likely end up putting a little something on that on Saturday as the fight comes. And our next fight of the night, we've got Iwo Baranowski versus Junior Tafa. And in this one, I believe we've got quite a grappling advantage on the side of Iwo. I think if he chooses to use his judo, the judo champion that he is, or his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, this fight will be over quick. It'll be Iwo by submission. He's going to be able to out-grapple him, take him down. But this all depends on if he's using a good fight IQ. He could come in there and he could do what he's been doing so far in the UFC and slug it out with Junior Tafa. And at that point, the fight gets scary, man. That's when he could blow some parlays. He could make things tough on you. Because Junior Tafa is he's no slouch on the feet. He can box. He's a good kickboxer. So I mean, I think in this one, I'm talking to you right now, Iwo. Your best shot to win this is to use that judo. Use that judo. Use that Brazilian jiu-jitsu and get this guy out of here fast. You do not need to slug it out. Show everyone that you are an MMA fighter. We'll love you just the same, buddy, I promise. Iwo Baranowski by submission. First round? I'm going to go first round. And our next fight on the main card is Bryce Mitchell versus Santiago Luna. Santiago Luna took this match on short notice after Victor Henry dropped out in a match that I thought was going to be way easier for Bryce Mitchell. And against Victor Henry, I was picking Bryce. I thought he was going to be able to take that one. In this one, that's a way tougher call for me. I think the Santiago Luna kid has excellent skill. I think he's got a lot of potential in this game. His wrestling, he was a champion. I think he's got the wrestling advantage in this one. His feet on the skill, I think he's got the advantage in this one. Where does Bryce have the advantage? Grappling. That's where he's going to be able to take this. Potentially submissions, potentially just that experience, right? He's been in the UFC a long time, and this kid's only 21 years old. But he's got a fire, man. I loved how he looked in his fights, and I think he might have an advantage. I think that if Bryce Mitchell isn't able to get him to the ground and keep him there, he might be fucked. That he might get knocked out. So, I took the underdog shot on this one. I took Santiago Luna, and we're gonna find out if I look silly later. See if there's levels to this game, and Bryce makes him look like he can't handle it. But that Arkansas wrestling versus that Mexican fighter dog's got the wrestling background. I can't go against the Mexican tough guy in this one. No way. Next up, we have Ziam versus Tom Nolan, and I'm all over Ziam in this one. I think he is just the better fighter. His win streak has been excellent recently. Some of these knockouts, the Matt Frivola one obviously is the easiest one to talk about recently. That one was excellent and really showed that skill. But then he's coming up, he's beaten Mike Davis, bit of a jiu-jitsu nerd, but also a really good fighter. Mike Davis has skill, and he took that easily. And then he came out in this last one, the Nazim Sadikov fight. Oh man, that sold it for me. For Ziam, he is the smile killer. He's gonna come out there. He's gonna fight. I generally I'm not huge on French fighters, but this guy fights. More and more we're seeing him get in the pocket. He's not just running away trying a point fight. He's looking excellent in there. He's looking faster than his opponents. He's looking like his skill is levels up. And I think it's going to look the same way on this one versus Tom Nolan, who has been dropped before, has taken. He always bounces back, but got really good recovery. But he's definitely available to be hit on the feet, and that's not going to be good in this one. I have a feeling that Ziam's gonna tag him up either for most of the fight and knock him out, or take the decision easily, unanimously, and it's all going to depend on Tom Nolan's recoverability. I don't think he has advantages in anywhere of MMA in this game, in this fight, to be able to take this one. So we're going to be picking for Ziam by either knockout or decision. And in our co-main event, we've got Edmen Shabazian versus Brendan Allen, and this one is the debate between grappler versus striker again. Edmen Shabazian, excellent on the feet. Brendan Allen, though, I don't think he's. It's all about the levels. Is like how far behind is Brendan Allen on the feet versus how far behind is Edmen in the grappling, and it's there's your big difference. There is Edmen is miles and miles behind Brendan Allen in the grappling. I would say wrestling department as well. And on the feet, I think Brendan Allen might be behind. Edmen Shabazian's excellent. He's a great kickboxer. He's dangerous, and he has the potential, obviously, to finish this if he gets a nice early knockout, or Brendan Allen doesn't come in with the best fight IQ and just tries to stand with him. But if Brendan Allen plays MMA, which get in on that body, get some grappling going, Edmen's shown in the past multiple times, multiple fights, he's not able to keep up at that pace. So Brendan Allen just needs to come in, play his game, get that grappling going, and I think this is going to be an easy Brendan Allen by submission again or decision. All of these are tough. I would lean more so towards the submission side of that. I don't think Edmen's going to be able to survive the whole fight with him, but we'll find out. And our main event of the evening, we've got Belal Muhammad versus Gabriel Bonfim. This one's going to be fun. I think this is going to be a good fight right here. I'm excited for it, and I've got Gabriel Bonfim in this one. I think the guy's got the talent. He's young. He's on the rise. The statistics say that once you've been a champion and you've lost, the drop off is big, and we're seeing it with Belal, right? He lost that championship. He came out right after Ian Machado Gary. That is a tough fight. We'll say that. Ian Machado, I think, is going in to be the champ here soon. The best point fighter in MMA right now in UFC. But I think Gabriel Bonfim has some skills, and the only issue that people are talking about in this one is, can his cardio hold up over 5? Can Belal wear him out? And the problem with that is that I don't think Belal is going to be able to wear on him with that same wrestling pressure safely that he usually does. Gabriel Bonfim is an absolute killer in regards to his grappling game, his submission threat, and then also on the feet. So for Belal to be able to actually implore his game, he's going to need to get in on him, and that's going to put him in a lot of danger. Potential for submission, potential for getting knocked out, and in this one, I believe Gabriel Bonfim is going to be the younger, more on the rise athlete, whereas Bilal's on his decline. He's 37 years old. He's no spring chicken. Gabriel Bonfim's 28, coming into that prime. Gabriel Bonfim for the underdog call on the main event. All right, and so I always go over these in the order in which I place them. So it's kind of the order of confidence for me sometimes. I like to go through the whole card first and see which fights I feel most confident in and place my bets on one that I feel is the most confident parlay of the evening. That one for me is Marcus Mcghee, Iwo Baranowski, and Brendan Allen. I just think that these guys have obvious advantages against their competition, and if they choose to use it, they have easy paths to victory. Nice 2-unit wager on that one for a potential plus 135 to 30 to 70, 78 payout, right? So our next one here is our ladies parlay of the night. Not a fully confident parlay on this one. I feel pretty good about Souza. I feel pretty decent about Chaves after watching her in that dogfight. I know she has the dog in her, the heart to fight, and I don't think she's going down just with one punch, and I haven't seen that at a UFC, so we'll find out. And then Chelsea Chandler, who I just think is going to have a bit of a grappling advantage and might be able to lay and pray her way to a decision and potentially a submission, but not confident enough on that one to make the bet yet. Next one on the night, Gabriel Bonfim money line. 1 unit on this one, plus 102 is where I got it. And yeah, you just heard my explanation as to why. I'm feeling pretty good about Gabriel in this one. Santiago Luna, I got him at plus 124 odds, and as we can see, the odds have shifted in my favor on that one. I got some positive CLV on that. You know, pat on the back, I guess, for that, but we're going to have to find out if he can actually take Bryce Mitchell. Just like I said before, I don't think this kid's going anywhere easy. Bryce is going to have to show that he has levels of grappling games above him, and grappling game above him, and I don't think he can do that. I think Santiago's wrestling's going to hold up. I think he's going to keep him on the feet, and I think if Bryce Mitchell is stuck on the feet with this kid, he's fucked. So, see how this goes. Next one, 3-pick parlay, and the worry on this one is Joe Anderson Brito. I put him in there to get some value out of this, right? Because these guys are some heavy favorites, but he could ruin Ziam and Alessandro Costa for me. I did place this when Costa was minus 750. So, sometimes I think I'm placing my bets too early. I think I need to wait these lines out. I'm getting some positive movement where I could pick up fighters that I think are going to win at better odds, and I'm placing my bets too early. So, things to think on. I don't need to be jumping these as early as I am. Sometimes thinking I'm going to always get good value, and sometimes it's going to be pushed in the direction where if I had waited, it would have been better for me, right? So this parlay would have been way better today than it was when I placed it. But this all comes down in this one, in my opinion, to Joe Anderson Brito, and if he can stay on the feet against Jordan Leavitt. If he is grappled fucked, we're fucked, obviously. And this is one of the most divisive fights of the week. I think that there's a lot of dog money on Jordan Leavitt, and most people just saying, let's let him make us some money and grappling this week. So come on, Brito. Show that you have upped your game, that you're not that the path to success has not been found against you, and that is simply to grapple you, throw you on the ground, and keep you on your back the whole time. Show him that you can improve. Show him that you can keep that takedown defense, and knock this guy out on the feet for me, please, buddy. Next one up, 2-pick parlay: Ketlin Souza, Bruno Silva. Not a super confident one here. I wanted to get a little positive money on Bruno, so we put Ketlin Souza in there because we're super confident on her. But again, this one is, I just think, a 50-50 fight with a slight lean towards Bruno, and I had to put a little something on it. So these are my current bets placed. I'm going to be saving up for Saturday. Be able to throw in a couple of maybe submission calls, some winning method calls. I like to kind of save those for watching the fighters walk out and getting just a vibe in the moment of what's coming before I make my say, specific winning method calls on the night. So I've kept a little bit of the funds in the back for that to be able to place as needed on the night, and I'll update in the recap video. I'll update in the recap video with the results and see where we're going with this one. My big worry on this week is 3 pick parlays, and that's going to be a big determinant on whether or not we have a good week or not, right? So we need some of these to hit. The worry on this, Joe Anderson Brito, right? He could ruin it for us. The worry on this one, I mean, Chaves or Chelsea Chandler could ruin this one for us. And the worry on this one, not much really, to be honest. I feel really good on my first one here. I think Ewo, if he makes terrible fight IQ decisions, could ruin it. Brendan Allen, if he gets caught easy in the beginning and knocked out, maybe could ruin it. And I just don't see John Yannis beating Marcus Mcghee. So of all the ones, this is my most confident parlay of the week. I believe these three are fairly close to locks on the week, but nothing is a lock in the sport of betting.